Hi, welcome. This video covers the unnerving sensations that often occur during menopause that don't seem to have an obvious explanation. These are things that leave you convinced that something's wrong, but no cause can be found. I'm sure, like me, you know the feeling of being at the doctor uncomfortable and scared and being told that you're fine and sent home to manage all on your own with absolutely no idea what's going on. It's terribly disheartening and scary, so I want to talk about 7 that occur quite commonly in perimenopausal and postmenopausal women. The first is called air hunger. I struggle with it occasionally and it can be absolutely terrifying. There are obviously conditions that can cause difficulty breathing and you should have those ruled out. I'm referring to the sensation of not being able to get in enough air when no medical condition can be found. It's just the sensation of not being able to breathe in deep enough, and it seems to be a fairly common symptom in menopause. Even though no visible cause can be found, it's possible that the increases in stress and anxiety, body-wide dryness, and inflammation when estrogen shifts may play a role. I bought an oximeter a couple of years ago to check my oxygen saturation when air hunger had me anxious. I still use it occasionally. It really helps calm the panic to see 98 to 99% because I know that my body is getting enough oxygen. Number 2 is disequilibrium. It's grouped with dizziness, but it's not as jarring and obvious. It's a feeling of being off kilter, like you just may fall over or veer to one side. It can feel like you're walking on a boat or like you had one too many and you're trying really hard to walk straight. It's a bit upsetting and worrisome and often occurs when hormones shift without any apparent physical cause or condition present. I find myself occasionally banging into things because I tip sideways, and I'm not at all dizzy at the time, just off balance. Hormonal changes affecting the inner ear and proprioception may be contributing, but whatever the cause, it's very unsettling. Next is the sensation of not being able to swallow properly. I've spoken to so many women who've been for testing because of this, and nothing was found. I myself went for a scope years ago for this very reason. Trouble swallowing can include feeling like there's a lump in your throat, feeling like food or pills will get stuck if you don't swallow hard enough, or feeling like your brain almost forgets how to swallow. Loss of estrogen can affect the muscle tone in your throat and saliva production, and it increases anxiety. So they may explain this horrible sensation, at least in part. Number 4 is called formication. It's the feeling of bugs crawling on you, and it's very disturbing. Add to that paresthesia and all of the things that come with that, and it can really affect quality of life. It can leave me looking a bit silly and crazy at times too. I don't know how many times I was convinced I had lice or an army of bugs crawling on me because of formication. Estrogen loss can affect the nervous system, and collagen loss in midlife can leave the skin drier, thinner, and more fragile, both of which could cause these sensations. Of course, seeing the doctor to rule out other causes is also recommended. Next is feeling like you have a UTI when there is no infection or visible problem found. This can be incredibly uncomfortable, and being sent home from the doctor with a clean bill of health and no solution or explanation for your discomfort is terrible. There are some conditions that can cause this, but in midlife it is often the result of vaginal atrophy. If this is happening to you, speak to your doctor about vaginal estrogen because it can help reduce the discomfort and even reduce the frequency of actual UTIs if you have a history of them. Number 6 I refer to as brain lags. It's a momentary space out where it feels like your mind is almost empty, like you're trying to accomplish or recall something, but your brain just won't load. It's weird but unnerving. If any of you experience this, I would love to hear about how it affects you and see how common this actually is. Menopause does affect cognitive function and focus, but I've read numerous times that it's temporary. I'm still waiting for mine to return to normal. Next is the feeling that your heart is beating really fast or hard, but your pulse rate is completely normal. It's the most bizarre experience. Blood pressure and heart rate are unaffected, so it literally is just a sensation. I can't explain this one. I had the experience once years ago while wearing a Holter monitor, and the monitor didn't pick up a single solitary thing. I hope it never recurs because it was disturbing. Have any of you had anything similar occur? I'm sure there are other strange sensations that I'm leaving out, and I invite you to share them in the comments if you have some that I haven't mentioned. Menopause is a real treat sometimes, isn't it, ladies? I wish all of you health, happiness, and peace of body and mind, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now.